But it actually doesn't take 15 minutes. It takes about 10, 12 minutes to get this thing done, but I guarantee you it's 10 or 12 minutes that you're going to remember.
Well, right now there's 17 guys out there with an individual game plan, but the one thing they have in common is get a good start.
Everybody's plan starts with the same 4 words. We're going to find out who's got the start as we prepare to go green. The Oklahoma City National is underway. Moorhead Gates in a hurry. Look at him blitz him into turn 1. Steve Moorhead, the veteran, has the lead over Will Davis. Wild 3-wide action as the Harley teammates Carr and Parker go side by side. Scotty clear sideways into 3, and he's going to back everybody up behind him. Davis, meanwhile, has slipped around Moorhead. Will Davis will lead the first lap, and I suspect that was in his game plan. Moorhead fighting the front end a little bit, and Parker starts to track him down. We're off to a great start. We'll be back with the Oklahoma City National. City, and it is a terrific 4-man battle for the lead. In fact, they're 4 wide for a moment. Chris Carr on the bottom of the racetrack trying to take the lead from Davis. Jay Springsteen charging around the outside, and again they go 3 wide down the backstretch. Springsteen, number 9, so impressive in the semifinal run of the outside line. He's making it work again against some tough competition.
Well, he's not only making it work on the outside by going just as fast as the leaders, but it looks like he's catching them, and that's tough to do out there. I don't know how he's doing it.
Moorhead is the leader. Davis is second. Carr is third. They've rearranged that order several times. Springsteen slipped a bit that lap, but he has come from mid. Oh, he's in trouble there. He got her in 2 wide. He's off the groove. That'll cost him.
Yeah, that'll cost him some time. He was able to make time just on the edge of the groove, but he slipped off severely that time.
And he's lost the spot to number 92, Rodney Ferris. Jay made that line work all through the semi, and it was working in the main, but it's a high-risk line because if you miss it by a couple of inches, you're off and skidding, and that's exactly what happened to him. Moorhead holds fourth up front. Carr is back around Davis. Terrific position swapping. We come to Oklahoma City sometimes expecting that narrow, hard-to-pass kind of racetrack. We've had passing in abundance this evening, and now Ferris has picked up the gauntlet, and he appears capable of running down this top 3. You'll see glimpses of him as they pop him off into the corner. He's fast.
He's fast. He's just a few bike lengths behind the leaders, and he's ready to exercise whatever advantage he can right now.
Parker and Jones were side by side. That, I believe, was 9th and 10th. Davis, remember his first pass of the night was around the outside. He's still making that line work as he comes up alongside Carr. I thought he had him. He broke loose for a moment, and Carr hangs on. Ferris has caught them. He is now 4th. Ricky Graham is 6th. He's up behind Jay Springsteen in his quest to win a 6th straight race. He's got an awful lot of ground to make up. Is Ferris going to drive right by these guys and win this thing, Bill?
Boy, he's going to sure try like heck. I mean, he's right there just knocking at the door. But I don't know. Moorhead's got it pretty smooth now, and if anybody I'd look out for, I think it's Chris Carr. He looks the smoothest of anybody out there.
Now, there's an observation as we get a look at Ricky Graham really for the first time in that battle with Springsteen. He's a long way behind the leaders. There you see the bobble by Moorhead, and indeed right behind him, Carr went through like he was on rails, but on exit, Carr breaks it loose a little bit. It seems that everybody is fighting someplace on the racetrack. Nobody's got a good line that works all the way around.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's so difficult, the transition from corner to straightaway. One guy smooths in the corner, lights it up coming off the corner on the straightaway. This is a tricky racetrack.
Number 3, Graham, is now a clear 5th. Springsteen has lost whatever he had early on, and Graham is charging after the leaders. Meanwhile, Ferris comes busting up the inside on Davis. This may be the pass for 3rd. Yep, Will slips wide, and that's going to give, well, maybe not. Here comes Davis back. Yeah, Ferris has got him covered. Rodney takes over 3rd. Position swapping continues. Now there's Moorhead going wide, and Carr has the lead.
Yeah, Stevie just opened the door for him, and Chris said, thank you very much. I'll do this.
One mistake and the lead is changed. We'll be back with more. National Dirt Track Racing brought to you by Harley-Davidson Motor Clothes. Custom design casual apparel available exclusively at your Harley-Davidson dealer. We're back at Oklahoma City, and look who's on the move. Number 3, Ricky Graham, has run down the leaders and is around Rodney Ferris. Graham, in his quest for a 6th straight national victory, is just charging. He's alongside Moorhead now, and remember, he came from deep in the pack. How does a guy, Bill, come to life halfway through the race and start passing the likes of these people who have led the whole way?
Well, it's very difficult because he just finds different lines. He makes the motorcycle work where the others aren't. That's the key. He's able to go where the others aren't and make it work just as good, if not better.
Ricky Graham is second. Chris Carr is in his sight. 10 laps ago, Graham wasn't even part of the story. We were talking about Rodney Ferris, number 92, as a potential winner, or wondering if it was going to be Moorhead or Carr who had the good stuff at the end. Now, suddenly, Ricky Graham, as he has all season, has become the dominant rider in the race. He's won 5 straight. He's going for 6. He's all over Chris Carr, and I get the feeling this is inevitable. If you can run it by all those other guys, you can run it by Chris, and Ricky does.
Yeah, Ricky just run it in underneath them just like he was on a rail, and boy, Chris was startled, I'm sure. Let's see if Chris has something left for him.
I wonder if Carr had any idea that Graham was coming.
I don't think so. I mean, that happened in a heartbeat. Chris is looking to see if any more people are coming along. I think the battle, though, is up front, and Ricky Graham just looks invincible right now.
Any more surprises waiting back there, Carr wonders, as he sneaks a peek over his shoulder. He has not given up on Ricky Graham by any stretch of the imagination. Remember, the national championship is what this is all about. Chris Carr spent his entire boyhood dreaming about it, his entire adult life chasing it. He's finally gotten it, and he certainly doesn't want to surrender it to Ricky without a fight. But if Graham wins this thing tonight, it's going to make it very difficult for Carr or anybody else to catch him in the point race.
Yeah, Ricky's on a roll right now. I mean, you see basketball players do it, football players. He's like in a zone. Everything he puts up goes in the hole.
White flag flies. 1 lap to go. Carr has one more opportunity. He runs up along the outside, now looks to the inside, and then slips. And that may be the difference. That rear wheel spun for just a moment, and Ricky Graham is gone. He's opened up 2-3 bike legs. Carr comes back on the bottom. Now, too little, too late. Ricky Graham has won his 6th consecutive Grand National victory. Team Undo will celebrate again tonight. Moorhead held off Ferris in a battle of old friends for 3rd, and Rocket Ricky extends one of the most remarkable win streaks in modern motorsports. Cars, bikes, whatever. Carr 2nd, Moorhead 3rd, Ferris, Davis, and Parker. And then Jay Springsteen, Ronnie Jones, Mike Hale, Billy Herndon, Kevin Atherton, and Donnie Eastep. And as long as we're at it, let's go ahead and run down through the complete finish order. Larry Pegram 13th, Hill, Colson, Poovey, and Roeder rounded out. Here's Larry Myers.
It looked like in the early going, in fact, right up until the latter part of that race, that you had things pretty well under control.
Well, after the challenge, we didn't have no choice but to spin the wheel around. We started with the new edge with real low tire pressure, and it just took a few laps to get going, and towards the end of the race, we just blistered the tire all to pieces. But these guys are going so fast, you know, we can hang with them for 5 laps or lead maybe 10, but we got to work on things, and maybe we'll come back and be able to run the rest of the race with them.
A fine 3rd for Moorhead. In the point standings, Graham leads Carr by 41 now. Let's hear from the race runner-up.
I had a good advantage through 1 and 2, and he just ripping us up in 3 and 4. You know, I got to take my hats off to Ronnie and Harold Morale for doing a good job on the racetrack. It wasn't that much fun to ride earlier, but that main event sure as hell was a blast.
I'll second that notion. And is this getting monotonous or what? Once again, Ricky Graham is rider of the race.
Yeah, it was a tough race, you know, because I was way back in probably 7th or something. And those guys were pulling away from me for a long time. And finally I got something going a little after the halfway mark, started working a little bit better. But, you know, it was fun. I had to work real hard for it. I'd rather have to do that than be out there just waiting for everybody. The track was changing a lot, so it was to my advantage to have to come from behind.